The Marine Biological Association, which has been based in Plymouth for 140 years, has won royal approval as King Charles has agreed to be their patron. The news came as the association launched another first, a unique seawater pipe, 27 metres long, lowered onto the seabed of Plymouth Sound. It'll pump gallons of seawater into the buildings and aquarium on Plymouth's Hoe, allowing marine scientists to carry out cutting-edge research. Jane Douglas reports.
Carefully floated into place in a major operation earlier today. No cranes or heavy equipment, just the use of the high and low tides to put the pipe onto the seabed. And here it is being prepared. The stonework that surrounds it has been constructed to invite all manner of sea life to explore and colonise its nooks and crannies. It replaces a damaged pipe that's been used by the Marine Biological Association for the last 140 years.
It's just fantastic seeing it come to fruition. This is a 2-year project. You would think, why does it take 2 years for a pipe, to put a pipe out into the water? But to see this suddenly happen on a beautiful day like this, suddenly summer has arrived and we're so pleased that it's happening now.
The operation to install it was a unique engineering challenge, but one a number of local companies were keen to take up.
So normally you would have a barge with a crane on top, and it's already a really heavy operation, and then you'll pick the mats off one by one, and the pipe will have to be laid with buoyancy aids, and it's a really time and a really costly exercise. So we sat and we scratched our heads, and we had multiple barge suppliers in, and as soon as we got ARC and the dive team together with Scafloat, we came up with this idea of actually using the tide.
So where's all that seawater going? It's here at the Marine Biological Association. This is where they carry out vital conservation work.
Seawater is part of the main important thing that we actually have here at the MBA, and we've had aquarium facilities ever since the building first opened in 1888. It's a real vitally important component of what we do. So seawater really is our lifeblood. If we don't have good quality seawater, we can't do a lot of the experiments, we can't keep animals on our systems, and it's really important also for our researchers to have access to seawater that's very, very similar to what you would have actually out in the wild.
One big research area they're looking at is how to cultivate kelp. Scientists hope to make a difference on a global scale.
Kelp is kind of the basis of the ecosystem that we have here, and you'll see lots of very different species. Now, at the moment, these are in kind of pristine condition in the UK, but there are areas where they are starting to get degraded, and looking globally, there are very, very vulnerable species to things like marine heat waves. So we want to kind of get ahead of the curve and really understand how we could potentially mitigate loss of kelp ecosystems in future.
And in case you're wondering, all the water that's pumped in here is eventually sent back to the sea. Jane Douglas, BBC Spotlight, Plymouth.